Okay, so I've been cracking on with the hedge trimming for the last few weeks. I've still got a bit more to do. Got the old Bomford hedge trimmer on the McCormick here. You've probably seen me doing it over the years. What we do is to trim half the farm one year and half the farm another year in a 2-year rotation. It gives the wildlife a bit more cover, better for berries and things like that to grow. But it also means that the stuff is a lot thicker than just the everyday trimming, so it does take quite a lot of work. While I'm talking to you, I'm hedge trimming. So basically what I'm doing here, got the zoom going on there. I've done the roadside bit of this hedge earlier, just so I didn't want to drive on the ground really when it was wet. So I've got a strip on the side of the hedge, you can see I'm just doing there. It's quite thick, it's 2 years worth of growth on here, so what I'm going to have to do is go round slowly a couple of times, I think. 2 years growth is quite a thick hedge, and I wouldn't normally cut a hedge every 2 years if I wasn't in the stewardship agreement. It's better for wildlife, but it does take a hell of a beating when you cut it. So it takes a lot more cutting down. The other thing as well, I think my flails on this hedge trimmer need a bit of a sharp. Oh, flipping it! You don't want to see my nose. Yeah, the flails on this hedge, I think they need a bit of a sharp end because I notice it's not doing a particularly tidy job this year. But it's been a few years since I fitted new flails to the hedge trimmer, and I haven't sharpened them since. So that's going to be one of my jobs later, not this week. At some point I'll have to get the angle grinder out and just grind off a bit of an edge on them, I think. Let's have a look at see how we're going, and we'll have another look a bit later. So here we are. Because the ground's a bit uneven, I've got to adjust the height sometimes. Otherwise you find that you won't get a straight line on the hedge, so that's what these are doing. There's a gap here. Mind the gap. Okay, so I've just had to stop a minute. What's happened is, because I'm cutting some really thick stuff, I've actually got a blockage in the hedge trimmer which won't shift even when I turn it on, so I'm going to have to actually pull it out. Let me just turn this off. Safety wise, I've disconnected the PTO and I've turned the engine off. You don't want to leave an engine running when you're doing a job like this. But look at this. So I've got, you know, it's not that bad to get out. Look, I knew I could pull it out. It's just that it's too thick. That one's a bit thicker. There you go. Look, these are big elm pieces of elm coming off here. So while I've actually stopped, we'll have a quick look what I'm cutting. I've gone round. I started at the top there, and I've been going round. Now, as I said, the problem with this 2-year growth, you end up some really thick stuff. I haven't got to this bit yet. Look, what we got is old elm in the hedge that's growing up and very thick. Look, 2 years growth. That's really thick, and it doesn't trim neatly. It kind of hacks it off really. The thorn doesn't trim too badly. And you can see what I'm going to have to do is go up the edge of the hedge, siding it up the edge, and then along the bottom at the end. But it's going to take several runs. The first run, look, it's a bit messy really. I say it's a good opportunity for me to stop and show you that unblocking. So I'm carrying on round. I'm going to go round about 3 or 4 times at least. Right, let's crack back on. I dare say if I put the PTO on, which I will do, the last bits are flying out. Right, so back on with it. How we go in a bit later. Okay, quick stop. I just thought I'd point out something interesting in the hedge. A load of wild snowdrops. I mean, you can see that down there. All throughout that hedge, patches of snowdrops. I quite like spotting nature on the farm, and that's just a little side thing there. Anyway, let's crack on. So I've been round once, I'm going round again, gradually thinning the top out. You can see there. Not looking so bad now. I've been round the tops of the hedge now, fairly tidy, and what I'm doing now, I'm just going along the base of the hedge, trimming up the sort of shoots that have grown out of the hedge, And then what I'm going to do then is I will then go around the side of the hedge and trim that tidy. So effectively I'll end up with a sort of square hedge, if you like. Some people put a kind of dome on the top of their hedge. I tend to do it flat. But basically I've got to trim around the edges because I find that, especially with blackthorn, it tends to grow out from the hedge. The hedge gets wider and wider eventually. Right, so we'll have a see how that's going. So I've done the tops, I've been along the bottom, and I'm just siding along now. This is always a tricky one because you're quite likely to catch some barbed wire or something that's growing in the side of the hedge. And you can probably just see down there, I've got the thing on, you can just see, and where you can make it out, the barbed wire there, look. And the problem is you've got to keep that head just out of range of that barbed wire. Anyway, let's see how we go. I've just finished now. I'm just packing up. Just put this trimmer away. Got a just fold it up. Better turn the PT off though, I suppose. There we go. And they're still spinning round. I won't get out and have a get out just until they wait until they've finished. They're more or less done. Whew. Oh, it's a beautiful day now actually. The sun's come out. It wasn't that great earlier, but it's alright now. So that's me done on this field. I've done nearly all the farm now. I've been cracking on for it for January and through February. I've got to get it all done by the end of Feb. I'll just have a quick look at the hedge trimmer. You can see when I'm going along the ground it does pull up a bit of dirt. But these are the flails here. Let's have a look. And they've got, the edge has gone off them a bit. They are a bit rounded off, not too bad, but I'll probably just put a blade across there and give them a bit of a sharpening at some point. You can see up here they just take a hell of a beating. That one's quite rounded there. Can't remember what exactly they were like before, but I don't know what a lifespan of these are, but obviously they want to be a bit of an edge on them, I think. Okay, so let's have a look at the old hedge there. Cement mixer going by. Nice colours. So here's a hedge. You can see I've been over the ground here because the hedge just keeps growing out. It will keep growing out if you don't trim it on the base. and I've sort of squared it up flat on the top. It's good enough. You can get too fussy over this. Some people do a really lovely job. If they're doing every year trimming, it's much better. But anyway, that's me done on the hedge trimming for this year. Well, for this year's video anyway.